You know, sometimes home isn't really a place on a map. It's a feeling. It's a shared ritual. That's the story we're diving into today, the story of Ramadan, as it's lived by millions of people far from their ancestral lands. We're going to see just how this sacred month unfolds, from the quietest moments before dawn, all the way to the joyous gatherings at sunset.
For nearly 2 billion people, that first faint sliver of a crescent moon, well, it's so much more than just a sight in the night sky. It signals the start of something truly sacred. It means Ramadan is here, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, a time for deep, deep reflection, for renewed devotion, and for this incredibly powerful sense of community.
So, what does it actually mean to observe this holy month when you're part of a global diaspora, when your own spiritual clock is ticking to a completely different rhythm than the city all around you? That's the experience we're exploring, what it's like to live your faith far from its traditional heartlands. I mean, just imagine it, living your life according to the phases of the moon, while the world around you is completely governed by the 9 to 5. This is the reality for millions. It's this incredible experience of inner alignment with a sacred calendar, even as the secular world just keeps on going, totally unaware of the spiritual marathon being run right in its midst.
So, the journey of each day, it begins in the darkness, in those sacred, really silent hours, just before the first light of dawn even thinks about touching the sky. This pre-dawn meal is called suhoor, but you know, it's so much more than just sustenance. It's a moment of quiet contemplation, of setting your intention for the day. It's right here, in the stillness, that the spiritual foundation for the long day of fasting is laid. And there's this unique kind of peace in that, isn't there? While the whole city is sleeping, you're awake, taking part in a ritual that connects you to generations past and to millions of people all around the globe. It's a feeling of being out of sync, yet at the same time deeply, deeply in focus. A silent devotion that really strengthens the soul before the outside world even begins to stir. And then the sun rises, and the real test begins. And it's not just a test for the body, but for the spirit. It plays out in our offices, our classrooms, and all the public spaces of our everyday lives. Fasting, of course, means going without food and water, but it's also this rigorous training in patience and empathy. It's about trying to maintain kindness and focus when you're, running on empty. Getting through a long workday or a tough exam without that cup of coffee, you really have to rely on a different kind of fuel. And get this, geography itself becomes part of the test. In a city like Riyadh, a Ramadan fast might last about 13 and a half hours. But for a Muslim in Stockholm during the summer, that same fast can stretch to an incredible 18 hours, maybe even more. The test of daylight literally becomes the test of longitude and latitude. And then, of course, there are all the social navigations, politely declining a coffee invitation, or explaining why you're not eating at a team lunch. These small little interactions, they become these quiet moments of advocacy, of education, really. They help bridge the gap between your private faith and your public professional life. But after that long test of daylight comes the reward. It's a moment you anticipate with every single passing hour, a release that's both physical and spiritual. The clock ticks over, and for one single profound moment, there's a pause. A sip of water, a bite of a date. The day's fast is officially over. The feeling is just one of immense gratitude, of relief, and this quiet sense of victory. This is iftar, and it's a celebration where the solitary struggle of the day just completely transforms into a shared experience. Iftar isn't just about eating, it's about coming together. This really captures the emotional journey of a fasting day perfectly. It all starts in the solitude of suhoor, this private conversation with God, and it ends here, in the communal embrace of a joyous celebration with family and friends. In the diaspora, community isn't always something you just find. A lot of the time, it has to be built. And it's built in these really beautiful, innovative ways, through interfaith iftars that welcome people from all backgrounds, in student gatherings on a university campus, through potlucks in rented halls, or even virtual meals that connect families across entire oceans. Sometimes it's as simple as sharing a plate of food with a neighbor. This is how home is recreated. And this daily experience, repeated over and over in homes and community halls all over the world, it connects each individual to this vast global story. That quiet pre-dawn meal in a London flat, that challenging workday in a New York office, that joyful iftar in a Toronto community center, none of it, not one bit, happens in isolation.
It's all part of a global tapestry of faith, a shared journey undertaken by millions, weaving this common thread of devotion through nearly every country on Earth.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to ponder. For the global diaspora, Ramadan shows that faith is like a portable sanctuary. It reveals how home can be found, not in a specific place on a map, but in the shared hearts of a people, wherever they may be in the world.